So from the time you were in elementary school, I think all you ever wanted to do was be in the family business. You said, I consider myself an ambitious person almost to my own detriment.
Yeah.
How so?
I like to live up to the challenge, So like, what am I capable of? If I saw somebody do something, then I'd be like, well, how would I accomplish that same goal? It's like, I guess, curiosity, can I find that space in myself to, do whatever it takes to get something done. And thankfully it wasn't to climb Mount Everest, because that wouldn't have ever happened.
When you were a kid, you used to walk the hallways, pop into conference rooms. What sorts of things would you hear folks talk about with regards to the sports business?
When I would walk into a conference room, it was usually because I was delivering donuts, right? And I was, 14, 15, 16 years old, and my dad said, go get us this, or go get some coffee, whatever. And I would bring it in, and then instead of leaving, I would sit in the corner and I would listen to the debates, and that when, somebody wanted something over here, what were they willing to give up over there to get what they wanted? Like people pounding desks, like I really mean this, and just like the theatrics of negotiating and just being completely entertained by that.
How do you think that impacted you?
I just became fascinated with the business and wanted to know more and more. And my dad saw that interest in me and he fed it. Like if there was something that was coming up in business, especially when he was involved in world team tennis, he would give me a report or a brief and say, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
And he would ask my opinion. And that was a powerful thing to be listened to. And whether I influenced him or not, he could hear my thinking and how I approached whatever the issue was.
And that helped you how?
I think it helped me just the idea that he had confidence in me, but I think it also helped him.
And that meant everything.
It meant everything. And, I always emphasize to fathers to empower their daughters the same way, because it's just very important. I mean, both parents having them listen to you. But my dad, could hear my thought process and how I approached things, and he came to value that, so that when things were on the line, he knew how I would deal with the problem, and that gave him more confidence to give me more authority and more responsibility.
The time you spent running the forum, long hours, you were involved in a bitter labor dispute. What did that period teach you?
When the job became available, my dad came to me and he said, I think you could do this job. And so as your boss, I'm offering you this job. But as your father, I'm advising you not to take it. And I didn't really understand that until I got involved, and it was so time consuming, because when you're running a venue, it allowed me to go from one side of the business, which I was the promoter, to the other side, which was running the venue and dealing with outside promoters and having them bring their shows to your venue. It was valuable experience for me, but I was working 14-hour days, and you have no social life. And so that was a very difficult time. But it
went on for how long?
About 4 years. And so, I'd come out of a divorce, and, so I had the time, but it wasn't a lot of fun.
If you had to do that over again, would you still do it?
I got really burnt out. I guess I had to go through to get me to where I am today. And it really paid off, because when we moved the Lakers to a new arena in downtown LA, now we are, the renter. And so understanding how the arena operated was really important in terms of negotiating our lease, not accepting no for an answer, because I know how things work. So that was an important part of my career.
You once said about your dad, he was concerned that I would sacrifice on a personal level a relationship and a family because of my ambition. Your thoughts on that today?
In some ways he was right. And, I think he was always my father first instead of my boss. And he didn't want to see me miss out on a big part of life, which was to have a family. And I did what was right for me. And of course, as a father, he would always worry about me.
Well, and at the end of the day, you have created a massive family for yourself.
Yeah, I think of the Lakers as family, mm-hmm. and the fans are like family to me. Like, I like to sit at games with, I don't sit in a suite. I love that people have access to me. I love taking pictures with fans and hugging them and hearing stories about who their favorite player is. You
said you've gone from being like a sister to the players to a mother now. What was the kind of recognition of that change like?
Just the age group. When Magic came into the league, he was 19, I was 17 when my dad owned the team, so we were similar in age. And then as time went on, now I'm like literally the same age as their grandmothers. And it's crazy, but I think really what changed, and I talk about being on the other side of when I ran the forum and was on the venue side, when I entered a relationship with the head coach, Phil Jackson, I saw a whole different side of a basketball team.
Really?
And it was so different. And that's where I felt like I became more of the mother role because he was kind of the father figure. Phil would always call a practice on Thanksgiving, and I would get so mad at him because these guys don't get enough time with their families during the season. And now you're making them come in on Thanksgiving and have a practice. And he finally explained to me, he said, Jeanie, I'll have them home in plenty of time to have their Thanksgiving dinner. He said, but they need to understand this is their family as well. And a team really is like their extended family. And I really learned to appreciate that.